Good afternoon and welcome to a sunny Roseland Park. Now, I've done lots of live videos over on Instagram, but I realised that my billions of followers here on Twitter won't have seen those, unless they're not really cross-compatible. So I thought I will repeat myself to anyone who's watched it on Instagram, but not for Twitter followers, I used to call it the other name. This is the wall garden and the new island bed that I put in this spring. I'll flip the cameras. Okay, so this is the new island bed that went in last September, so just reaching a year old. The big Butea capitata, Chilean jelly palm you can see there, was in a raised planter on the lawn here, largely because the soil was so abysmal. And I've removed the planter, sort of built a raised island of soil in the middle of the lawn, dug out tons of rubble, and then moved its smaller Butea, as you can see at the other side, that was by reception where there's some building work about to happen. So we have two Buteas here. Now the intention with this border is to block the view between the old Penley house there, which is about to be developed into apartments, and the existing modern apartments here in the walled garden, so they're not staring into each other's windows. Anyway, this is full of all my favourite exotic sort of planting. We've got some huge aeoniums here. Not quite sure which this one is. I think it's an arboreum, some kind of a vast thing. Kufia down there, some crassula. That's an aeonium velour, and next to that is Phoenix Flame. We've got some Arctotis. I say this is one of the ones with an H name, Heidi, Holly, Hannah, can't remember which one. I take cuttings every year and it does very well. Good orange colour. We've got some Begonia luxurians here. A very stunted Hedychium tara. I moved this as a section of my main plant from home, so it has flowered, but this is a sort of 4-inch flower spike on something that's often over a foot high. Behind that is Mucilacia carpa. That's the golden lotus banana. Usually bring that one in. And next to this we've got Sontius canariensis ortavensis, very lovely feathery looking giant south thistle or dandelion that I got from Mike Clifford a couple of years ago. Doing very well, but that will get brought in for the winter. I only had the one. Now, the front of this border is hard to avoid, is this enormous orange dahlia. Now, residents often give me plants, and a resident last year gave me some big old lumpy tubers of a unknown dahlia. They said they'd not managed to get to flower in 2 years to want it before they threw it away. So in desperation and lack of budget, I bought it indoors, overwintered it, kicked it on, and it's turned into this enormous orange flowered thing. These are easily as big as my hand, rather magnificent, and accidentally fit the orange theme of the Arctotis and the nasturtiums, which is self-sown in there as well. What else have we got here? We've got Cortolea Bledden's Beacon. There's a giant Geranium madurense there, struggling a little in the dark. What have we got around here? We've got Begonia torsa. Lovely plant, fantastic undersides to the leaves, these great veining. Round in the shadier side, we have this rather lovely Brugmansia, which I think is called frosted pink or something like that. Rather lovely, still flowering. Obviously a tree fern, snaffled from elsewhere, just a small one, and moved into here. At the back there we've got Woodwardia ungemata, which I'll zoom in a bit. The new fronds are a lovely red colour when they first come out, but that's doing quite nicely down there in the back, and hopefully will continue to do so. Excuse the erratic zooming. Got some Impatiens, Laminaria pink nerves, lots of Persicaria filiformis there. All the Buteas this year have gone mad and tried to flower themselves silly, so I've spent a lot of time cutting flower spikes off both of these. One was a male, one was a female, to let them put their energy into recovering, particularly the smaller one, which is looking a little sickly after its move. Hopefully a mild winter is on its way. There are some nice healthy looking new leaves coming there. Anyway, if I swing around now to the, here is the main section. I'll zoom out a little bit because it's so big. This is Musabasju, the hardy Japanese banana, which I think is actually a native to mainland China, but it's called the Japanese banana. Lovely thing, little weather beaten, but we've had a few still days, so some of the new leaves are not too smashed about. Below that we have a Butylon German's Red. This is fully hardy here, beautiful deep red flowers, very good plant I think. We've got some Nymphophia coulescens just beginning to flower, more Begonia torsa, huge Astelia Westland, some Dickium, this is Michael Wickenden, it's a densiflorum, nice sort of light orange version. Behind it, a gigantic Brugmansia. Now this is one that comes from the Fox Gardens in Falmouth. Fox family, the people who made Treeberg, Glendurg and all the famous valley gardens. And this is apparently part of their hardiness trials. Has rather lovely, I can't see if I can see any, golden yellow trumpets, but I can't see any at the moment. I think it's probably finished flowering at the moment. Some canna lilies. Next to that is this enormous, it's hard to give the centre scale, but 7 foot plus Hedychium. This is Hedychium maximum. And if I just zoom in, it's got some flowers coming up, which is good because I moved this from home. It was in a pot, huge pot, and it managed to split the pot in its second year, so I've moved it out into the gardens here. It's just got too monstrous for the pot at home. I was worried that maybe the move to the soil would cool it down a bit and prevent it from flowering, but nope, it's jumped with all the extra nutrients, got huge. In front of this we have Cardiocacia pink China, another reliably hardy, in Cornwall at least, but very exotic looking plant. These leaves are a good 18 inches plus long. And next to that we have this gigantic Eucomis. This is Eucomis Pole Evansii. Now this is a 5 foot high Eucomis flower spike, towering through this border, surrounded by the seed heads of Densifloramassum orange. Gorgeous scent wafting up to me, and that is the first flower of Hedychium gardnerianum here, just beginning to open. Wonderful plant, perfectly hardy, gorgeous flowers, and it's having a very good year this year. Some salvias down here. This is Jezebel, and underneath here actually we've got a Roscoea, another member of the ginger family. This is brown peacock, a Craig Farm introduction. I've got some Hedychium greenii just beginning to show flowers, not open yet. That has a rather lovely orange-red orchid-like flower, different in form to these more candelabra type ones. More Begonia grandis here. What else have we got? There's a lovely Sonchus palmensis here, which is flowering. Now this one I brought in last year, but next to it is a slightly smaller looking one. That one I left out. That got burned to the ground by the frost, but it's come back. So I'm pleased to see this one flowering. It means I can hopefully get some seeds. But I'll leave them both out this year because it's proven itself to be hardy enough to take a Cornish winter. What else have we got? More salvias. A Phygellus. No, I'd given up on Phygellus a few years ago. They used to get completely hammered by, I think it was a mite that parasitises dropwort, one of the native plants. But it's decided Phygellus was a good match. But this one seems quite resistant, so I'm giving it a chance. Anyway, I shall pull back, give you a last general view. Obviously there's plenty of tree ferns at the back of the board here as well. And somewhere at the back there's palm trees, there's a fig tree. What else have we got down there? All sorts of things. Euphorbias, there's a Schefflera down there, digitata, Tetrapanax. So the great thing about exotic borders is as the rest of the garden is fizzling out for winter, the exotics are doing their thing. So just when you're beginning to get to that depressing stage of the year where the perennials are looking spent and the annuals are dying and you're thinking about the long dark days ahead, this can fool you pleasantly into thinking it's still summer, particularly on a day like today. So much colour to come, as long as we don't get a frost. There was 3 degrees, I think it was last week, but fortunately nothing touched here in the wall garden. And I say, this gives us an extended season, so it's a genuine reason for growing these half-hardy and tender perennials. Things like these aeoniums, they give a wonderfully exotic feel to the garden. Yes, they need a little bit more care. You've got to have a greenhouse or porch or a windowsill, depending how many you've got to bring them in, but they really do extend your season in the garden. Anyway, that's enough waffle from me, and hopefully this will fit up on Twitter at some point.